Hello, I'm Elif and this is a recap for the third episode of the series Your Spirit Won't Hear or Ruhun Duymaz, 24 hours after Turkey and before dubbed for TV. After Onur tells his team that they should damage G1's reputation on the auction night so that he cannot leave the country, everyone except Ayla promise to cooperate with him. Onur takes Ece to his home to stay with him until the end of the operation. When Ece is alone, his attention falls on the precious stones on the table and his jewelry designs. Onur approaches her and says, "For me, the most worthless stone is a diamond. It can be made in the laboratory." He shows a beautiful stone to Ece and says, "The most precious stone for me is tanzanite. Even though it doesn't worth much. You can't make a copy of it." Onur and Ece stare at each other for a moment and soon come to their senses and distance themselves from each other. At night, Ece and Onur examine the plans of the building where the auction will be held in order to plan their operation. Ece says, "If G1 gets caught, I will be released unconditionally." Onur accepts. Ece says, "Now that we are partners, we have to trust each other." "Then answer my questions," Onur says. "Why did you take only one ring from G1's safe?" "I just liked it," Ece says. Onur says, "Did you steal my watch?" Ece denies. After Onur guides Ece to her room, Ece says, "G1's case is not just a normal case for you, it's personal." Onur firmly says no and says goodnight. At the end of the night, Onur and Ece think about each other, but they both know that they should not act on it. Tomorrow morning, Ece comes down the stairs with a top she made for herself with Onur's clothes, and Onur is stunned to see her. They set out to plan their operation. A bully man who says he came from Hazar enters Mustafa's house and asks him about Ece. Mustafa says he does not know about her. In Onur's office, he says that it is dangerous to steal from there before and after the auction, and they should do their work during it. Ece, who doesn't accept Onur's method, says, "Before you go to that building, I've gone back and forth 10 times. They bet on it." Ece grabs Onur's phone and calls Mustafa and says that he will get rid of Onur as soon as possible and make sure Elif is her sister or not. Mustafa tells Ece that Hazar's people are looking for her. Onur overhears part of Ece's words and takes her phone back from her and returns his own, which is bugged. Ece goes to see Mustafa and says, "The ring of the woman who took Elif from the orphanage was in Koral's house. I need to make sure if Elif is my sister or not." She shows Elif's picture to Mustafa and Mustafa says, "I think you look like each other." And he continues, "Since the age of 12, you have been breaking into the safe of the jewelers and looking for your sister. I think you found it this time." Ece goes to the building where the auction is held with 2 dogs and releases the dogs to enter the building under that pretext. When Onur comes there to see Hilal, he is shocked to see Ece. Ece says she has obtained all the information about the building. They are arguing when G1 and Hilal arrive there and see them and sit next to each other. Hilal steps forward and asks, "What's going on here?" Ece says, "Your boyfriend took my phone and won't let me call you." Hilal looks at Onur in surprise and Onur says, "I want to be alone together." Ece is everywhere. G1, who is happy to see Ece, suggests they go to a restaurant to eat. At the restaurant, Ece shrewdly gets information about the event from G1. After lunch, Ece leaves Onur to go about her business, but Onur follows her. Ece gets into a van and prepares cooking utensils. Onur approaches her with surprise and Ece says that she is making sweets for the children of the orphanage. A little later, the children happily gather around Ece and ask her why she is late this time. Onur looks at Ece with a smile and then spends the rest of the day helping her to make sweets, and at the end, he says, "This is the first time I see you happy from the bottom of your heart. Your eyes are smiling." Ece says, "It's the only good thing I do." Ece asks about Onur's family and Onur says that the only one he has is Ayla. Ece says to himself, "You are also a foster child." At night, Ece serves the food of the night ceremony to the Korals and then goes to Elif's room and takes her brush. Onur is surprised to see her. A little later, G1 goes up to talk to Ece, and Onur gets jealous when he sees him. Ece promises G1 to have a one-on-one meeting. At night, G1 asks Hilal about Ece, and Hilal understands that he likes Ece, and G1 admits that he is thinking about Ece. The ceremony begins and Ece gets the Mofid's glass, who is present as an expert in the ceremony, to Onur's colleagues, and they make an artificial finger with his fingerprint to enter the room. After finishing her work in the kitchen, Ece enters the event in a beautiful dress and dazzles everyone. Onur's mouth remained open in surprise, and in the presence of Hilal he could only say, "Just as it should be." Just then, G1 approaches Ece and compliments her on her beauty. Ece leaves the hall and Onur goes out on the pretext of calling someone. Ali and Marley have knocked the guards unconscious. Ece and Onur enter the room and Ece quickly opens the safe, but there is no trace of jewelry in it. At the same time, Hilal sends a video to Onur. She is wearing a necklace. Onur tiredly tells his team that the operation will be cancelled. At the same time, Ayla enters and says, "We will enter Plan C," and gives the team a package of powder material. They deliver the powder to Onur and Ece pours it into a drink and gives it to Onur. Hilal displays the necklace. Onur approaches her and compliments her on her beauty and gives her the drink. A little later, Hilal goes to the toilet with a bad stomach and Marley makes her unconscious with the substance he made. Ece immediately unties the necklace from Hilal's neck and starts to run away, but Hilal regains consciousness very soon. Onur grabs Ece's hand and starts running. On the other hand, the alarm of the building sounds and the guards chase them. Onur takes Ece to the roof and locks the door. Then he takes the bag he has already prepared and prepares Ece and himself to jump. He hugs Ece tightly and says, "Trust me." Ece stares at Onur without fear. They jump together. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.